Good evening, everybody. So, I've made a couple of videos lately about the 19th Amendment and one on civil rights. Um, and I had a spoiler alert that I was going to be doing the 16th Amendment one. So, I'm doing that video now. So, I had always been interested over the years of why do I pay taxes? I'm probably in the masses for that one. Everyone wants to know why they pay taxes and where they're going for, or where they're really going for. Not where we're told they're going. So, you got the income tax, sales tax, property tax, excise tax, being able to breathe the air tax. Okay, that's not a tax yet, but I'm sure somebody's working on it. That was sarcasm. So this one will go a little quicker. Now, I'm going to read part of the actual amendment because I didn't want to mess up word for word. So, excuse me. So before I actually read you, what happened here, who voted for what. Well, I'll tell you what. They needed, out of the 48 states at that time, which was in 1909, 1910, right in that area, they needed 36 states to slash territory, because you have to remember some areas like Oklahoma and I think Arizona were still territories and not quite states. So they needed 36 of those to agree to ratify. They wanted ratification. They wanted, well, your money. The big push for this was your government was paid by tariffs. So tariffs, when the incoming goods came in, they charged that. And that's how the government got their money. But they wanted to go one step further, like, we kind of want more. So the government's been greedy for, well, quite a long time. So I thought it was interesting how these things came about. I think the first time I looked into it was many years ago. I wanted to know why was there excise tax. Why am I paying every year on a car I own, especially outright? Now, in property tax, why do I have to pay property tax? I own the property, so why would I buy the property then have to pay property tax? Now we'll get into that another point in time. But today we're going to deal with the 16th Amendment. So I'm going to go ahead and read it word for word because I love the wording on this. I'm all about verbiage. I love how some things, the way people write things and people don't catch it. So it actually says, the Congress shall have power, to lay and collect taxes on incomes from whatever sources or source derived without apportionment among the several states and without regard to any census or enumeration. So, without regard, do whatever we want, whatever. So that's pretty great for the rich, ain't it? Well, the rich government who can just say, you know what? How can we get more money? Well, we'll say it's to pay off the 1812 war. Yeah, or wait, it's to pay off the Revolutionary War. Now, there was a provision a long time ago. I'm getting really into facts now, back then, about they wanted to bring income tax into after each war to pay for it. So someone's got to pay for it. It wasn't supposed to be all the time. They didn't want it all the time, every single day, but they need some money. That's how it goes. We need money. We need a little bit more of this. So, so sad. So, out of those states, now I did break it up from Democrats and Republicans, because I know that a lot of people like myself are interested in which side really votes for which. So you'll be happy to know that when it comes to greed, they're pretty much even on this. So, I mean, one's got a little bit more than the other, but still, pretty close race for that greed in there. So if you look at it, the 16th Amendment, 25 out of those states slash territories, most of them were states, there were only a few of them that were territories in there, so. 25 run by Democrats. 17 by Republicans. Now you see the number is 42. They needed 36. Well, there were 6 that never actually even ratified. I think Connecticut, Rhode Island, and I forget the other ones. Might have been Massachusetts too, believe it or not. I'm not 100% sure. It's not on my whiteboard, so can't remember if I can get the whiteboard. I'm just saying. So pretty close. This is really close for them to be on the same page. Now that's bipartisanship, my friend. That's reaching across the aisle. Greed. If you want them to agree, greed. So sad, isn't it? Really. So now, from a biblical standpoint, how do I feel about this, or how should we feel about it as born again Christians? What did the Bible say about taxes? And we could talk about Matthew the tax collector, obviously. I don't think Jesus was a big fan of tax collectors, but that wasn't the main point. People get caught up in that. That Jesus was a social justice warrior, or he was for capitalism, or he's both. But remember, he said, give unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and unto God what belongs to God. Now, that is not to say that he said, hey, I'm for taxes, so just pay taxes. He also talked about whatever the law of the land is, follow that law. Doesn't mean you have to like the law, you just have to be law-abiding citizens. Now you want to change the law to fit what's biblical and what would be appropriately moral-wise, then you have to go and do that. I think he wants us to do that. But I don't think he's like, yeah, taxes are good. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think that Jesus ever said that. And I don't think that was his main concern. That was more of a side note. Hey, listen, give Caesar what's unto Caesar's, okay? It's money, it's taxes. For now, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Worry about God. Worry about giving your life to God. Worry about giving unto him what's his. And that was a main point for him. So, yeah, 16th Amendment, that's a greedy amendment. What do you want? 2517. Dems are a little bit more greedy, but not by much. So it's a pretty close race there. And there's also been controversy over the years. I don't know how many people touched upon it since then, but some may not have properly ratified it. Now, these were the governors, and I'm just saying these states were run by the governors. So what happens is they send it to the governors of each state / territory, and then they give it to their state legislatures, and they're supposed to read it and say, hey, yeah, yay or nay, or whatever, we're for it, we want to ratify it. Now, some didn't do it. Some have not done it. Some said they have. So you got a lot of that. And some to this day still haven't even ratified it, so that's quite interesting. But yeah, so there you go. Quick little lesson on 16th Amendment and greed. Dems and Republicans reaching across the aisle. Both greedy, so that's good. On the same page. We wanted bipartisanship, and there it is. So 16th Amendment. Yeah, taxes. They can do whatever they want because they say they can. I appreciate you tuning in. God bless and have a great evening.